Huh?
Rudy could probably check out another horse they might have right now too.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can see the horse. There's the horse.
And so we're gonna start off by going down the steepest hill in the city. So here it comes.
Don't move.
There it goes.
Hang on.
Alright, folks, welcome aboard, y'all. My name is Skyler. I'm y'all's guide for the hour. Big man up front here is Tommy. Tommy's a 5-year-old Belgian draft horse. He weighs around 2,000 pounds. He eats around 40,000 calories a day. He can drink upwards of 30 to 35 gallons of water a day as well. Tommy's a big guy. He's also insanely strong. Speaking of our big boys from the Amish. In Amish country, Tommy was their plow and their tractor. So from a dead drag with no wheels, Tommy can pull upwards of 4 times his own body weight. So right around 8,000 pounds. Pretty easy for this big boy athletes. These guys are just incredible creatures, incredible athletes, and what we're doing right now is fraction for what he can actually do. When this carriage is empty, I can pull it with one hand. When there are people on board, I can still move this carriage, and I'm much, much smaller than Tommy is. So, not hard for me, definitely not a hard gig for Tommy boy up front here.
You got enough room? You got enough room?
Got a what?
You got enough room?
I got enough room.
We've had him for a little bit over a year now.
That's a little horsey.
But because he's still growing, he gets a lot of time off. Well, you're smaller. Alright. So, has anyone been to Charleston before? Welcome back.
Yeah, we're here a lot.
How carriage rides work in our city? Our historic district is too big to cover in 1 hour. So we have it divided into 5 zones. We are using a very high-tech machine with a 1960 single ball machine. We randomly select where we're going today. So it's completely random. And as we know where we're going to go, Tommy has no idea where we're going to go. So boom, they're going to put the button, our ball pops up, and now we're going to hang out for the next hour. So if it's not fun, keep me on my toes. Oh, Tommy on his toes too.
Horse.
Just how we've been doing our whole tour, you know? Like this, the whole time that we've been here, we've been winging.
So, I got carriage 350 with Tom, and I have 14 on board.
And then Skyler, right now you're good on going out.
Okay.
So just go ahead and do that.
Just take, okay, cool, I can do that. Alright, 3B. With a beautiful ride, I'm excited for it. We're gonna wait here just a second. There you go, Thomas. Then you down for yeah. Alright, folks, we're supposed to discuss our way through the market. So, with a beautiful route, I'm excited for it. So we're kind of making our way to the market. Y'all had a chance to walk to the market all yet?
Patience, patience.
He's just a little pissed off.
A little bit.
Alright, anyway,
Look it
we're
over.
eventually making our way in here. We're getting there. Definitely check out the market if y'all can. Market's open every day from
Is yours
9
on?
to 5:30, so definitely check it out if y'all can. It is definitely
No, you're not
Well,
recording.
if you're still around
There
tonight,
you go.
come on out, check out our night market. Friday and Saturday nights from 6:30 to 10:30. City Market will shut down for an hour. We open again at the night
I was
market.
recording.
And that's more like a local
You might
market,
have been
so
earlier,
that's
but you
really,
weren't
really, really cool. So come on out, check out that night market if y'all get the chance to. Friday and Saturday night. Alright, so then to go back to myself and Tommy Boy up front. I'm originally from Michigan, hence my slightly nasal Midwest accent. In Michigan, I was a middle school history teacher. I've been riding horses since I was in kindergarten. So when I moved here, I'll let you know, I really don't feel like teaching anymore. So this job sounds awesome, so I'm going to do this job instead. So I've been doing this job ever since. It's the coolest job in the world. I hang out with a beautiful horse like Tommy in a gorgeous city, and I talk on floors all day long. Like, it's the best job ever. And Tommy up here, the horse I work with pretty often, he's fantastic. I love him to pieces. He's still scared of big trucks. So there's like a massive wedding that's like shutting down like 4 blocks. So
I think we met some of them this morning.
it's gonna be.
Are they famous?
I don't know. It's gonna be as rich.
They might be on film, I'm sure you're
Yeah. It's gonna be insane.
yeah, maybe it wasn't. They were going to a presentation.
Yeah, no, this is huge. So every once in a while, like I said, he might be getting a little bit spooked by some stuff. That's not a big deal. That's just how being Tommy. That being said, though, please stay seated the entire time. That's number 1, safety on board. The other big thing, hold on to your stuff. All right, Howard, just gonna go run for you. That good to go there. Tommy, how good are you at running over cars? What kind of demo derby do you? Here comes a big old church. That church is St. Philip's Anglican Church, the oldest congregation in our city, dating back to 1680. Building right there dates back to the 1830s. There's a very slight 4-degree tilt to the left on that church right there. The reason for that tilt is because in 1886, we had a massive earthquake that hit this town. That earthquake was a 7.2 on the Richter scale, which I will talk about more in a minute. Look at this yellow building here on our left. We'll talk about that in a second too. I can't go that way now, can I think they steered me wrong. I think they steered me wrong. Sorry, this is the way I'm supposed to go.
Too many places.
But, no, let me just pause.
What church is the wedding at? Maybe they're not blocking it. Yeah.
Well, that's wrong. I need to turn.
Traffic jam.
Traffic jam.
Yeah, this was bad last night. Trying to get out of here. Really. Really bad.
Where's the band?
Oh my goodness.
We're popping a U-turn.
Wow. There's a band.
We're making a U-turn.
Look at that.
I'm making a
Y'all ever seen a horse do a U-turn?
No, I have
Here we go. Come on, show what you got, baby boy.
That's so funny.
Don't do it.
a band?
Do it.
Wow.
Who's band?
All right. That's wild.
You just take us where you want it.
Parker,
I'm gonna do my best to see where we're gonna go today. We're gonna have a little fun.
Pretty long.
Free ball a little bit. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk history. We're gonna see what's going on. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, so the reason for the tilt on that church, 1886, we had a massive earthquake that hit this town. That earthquake was 7.2 on the Richter scale. So that's a huge, huge earthquake. Dozen journals from that time period that were over 75 seconds. Sneaking around, doing all Charleston. Man, he learns how to do all that. But he would not have been broken his ankle and been arrested by being at the house. So kind of fun. He jumps out that window, breaks his ankle. That ends up probably saving his life. Yeah. And also dramatically the course of American
Instead of
had he not done that, who knows? You might not have.
it's moving. Yeah, I don't know what kind of.
I didn't see it moving went by.
Looks kind of like that.
I know, we're going straight. And they're going all the way off. What's going on? Going. I don't know what's going on. I know. We're going straight. We are done now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 much more route in one. So Tom is like, what am I doing? Where am I going? The first part way home. He's like, okay. Oh my god, look at that. You know nothing. Alright, any questions? No questions at all.
What's a little circle?
Yeah, so little circles. These are called Charleston Awards. So we give out around 10 of those Charleston Awards a year to honor historical restoration excellence. You see that circle on a building, that's an exceptionally well-restored building. General rule of thumb with those little circles is that you've restored your house to around 80% or more historical accuracy. They have expanded the categories out. So now, there are 3 categories for Charleston Awards. The first and original category is just old exterior historical restoration, right? That's the big one. Second category is into publicly accessible buildings, like a church, like a theater, like a school, like a shop, that you restore the inside to maintain historical accuracy and integrity and get an inferior Charleston Award. And the third category is new build. Very rare to have the opportunity to build a new house here. To get that rare opportunity when you build a new house, you're supposed to tighten. And as you tighten up that turnbuckle, you're slowly but surely, so there's some more right there. Slowly but surely bring the walls of that building back together, just like braces do for your teeth. You see those bolts in the building, pretty good indicator, more likely not, that building older than 1886. Ahead of us, you have St. Philip's, once again, leaning to the right. And you see a lot more earthquake bolts right here on this building on our right. London was a military prison and where they used to hold pirates before they bring pirates down to white ones on to be hung. The Daytime History Museum, Nighttime Haunted Dungeon Tour. It is a fantastic building to go into and check out. I highly recommend that y'all do so. So with this building, one of my favorite stories with it goes back way to the beginning of the tour with the old government's work with George Washington. So 1791, he's doing a whole tour of the southern state, spends about 7 days here, right? So the church of St. Michael, he then has a ball at the auction. But we had no idea how to handle a president. He's our first one. You first see, you bow. We don't know who's the first president. So everyone's going up to George with a courtesy. George says, what's going on? Like, well, duh. You're a royalty, and obviously that's the courtesy. Well, just goes straight. So George tells everyone there, says, you know what? We're doing things differently here. You cannot dance with your king, but you can dance with your president. So that night, in the old exchange, allegedly put a thank you note to every woman he danced with. So I've always learned what is marketing about that. On our right hand side, once again, is 8.5. That house that I briefly mentioned, if you by it earlier, there's a cute tiny little kitchen house right there. Like that, the big house gone, now I got that one that stands alone. And then on our left hand side, you have that beautiful apples right now. He's so beautiful right now. Yeah, that's Mooch right there. He's our tallest horse. He is gigantor. Okay, Moose. But yeah, so with Ryan St. Martin, that is the last place here in Charleston. You cannot ignore that part of history. We're the top 14 Ford Atlantic Safe Train. It is actually good as you're walking around Charleston, as you look at this very beautiful city. Always remember the very tragic fall of this empire. Because it was all built. Exploded in 1780 from the British occupation of Charlestown. British were going around town. They were collecting all these guns from the colonists, and they were throwing them into this other powder magazine. But they weren't unloading any of the guns. So the colonists realized that. They started overstuck their muskets, hoping one of those guns would explode, and eventually that's exactly what happens to gun goes kaboom. The wall, if the job as intended, they sent the explosion up. We only have the one now. The other one that we had is going to 80. 20 guns in powder magazine. One of those guns goes kaboom. The wall, for the job as intended, they sent the explosion up. But when that sand came down, instead of extinguishing it out the way and hoped it would, it actually ended up pushing outward.
I would think so.
Way bigger than it would have been otherwise. Ended up making over a 200-foot crater in the earth. Of the 6 buildings in the surrounding area, it killed over 250 British soldiers. So, does not work. Like I said, we have learned that the hard way. Where is that in Charleston? So, yeah, it's at the intersection of Logan and... At the intersection of Logan. Usually traffic, we're taking the normal route. not going by. It's by the old tree.
Okay.
You really can't tell, it's like a slight dip in the ground. I love that house. That house is 8.5. I still think the house is adorable. So that's the attitude of the house. We're going to do a lot of half and quarter attitudes around town. We used to have very large estates with all these dependencies that you'd sell off. But over time, as you sell them off, the street's already been numbered, right? So now you have a new building, but you don't want to renumber the entire street again. So what you would do instead, you'd give that half and quarter out and buy it. Therefore, people will stop drinking. So where there's a will, there's a way. And we found our way with the blind hunters. So pub owners started to sell tickets. And that's a fantastic club. They have a beautiful beer patio on the back. Definitely check that patio out. So, it's good. It's really good. It's a fun little vibe. It's a nice little vibe. We're now making our way into what's called the Four Corners of War. That's the intersection of Broad and Beach. On your left-hand side, you have St. Michael's Anglican Church. On our left-hand side, the U.S. Federal Courthouse and Post Office. I'm just going to make sure I don't get an $1,100 ticket. So,
Right.
I don't have that much money.
They can pay it.
Yeah.
Bill the wedding.
Yeah. I should, shouldn't I? Hey. Enforcing things for maintenance that they cannot and they will not be the same. And they later use that same phrase, separation is per se inequality, when they defend for Brown versus Board of Education. So a little separation of that happened there, which I was like, is very cool. Blue building coming up here on our right hand side is the John Mining House. Believed to be the oldest wooden structure in the entire city, dating back around 1715 to 1720 or so. So the fact that a wood was testing the human metabolism. I'm like, that's disgusting. I don't have cheese. I don't want to eat my cheese. I want to keep my cheese. So yeah, like I said, if you had a party, I would not go to it. I would not want to. Okay, coming up on our right hand side. I love this house. It is like the colonies actually. It was not just like a Charleston thing, but we were really freaked out about the French and the Spanish here. So we said no Catholics, because you might be a spy. Talk about the 1800s when we said fine, y'all can show up, and they built us this stunning cathedral. So St. John's thinking stone won't burn down, which is true. Stone won't burn down. But do y'all know what happens when you surround stone with fire? It turns into an oven, right? Everything in that cathedral ends up combusting and destroys the entire building from the inside out. Which sounds fine. Like, okay, fine, whatever. 100 years later, not a big deal, right? It's a very big deal, though, because we're very strict in what you can and cannot do with our buildings here in Charleston. One of the biggest laws we have in terms of historical restoration is called the 75-year law, which states that if something on the exterior of your building is older than 75 years old, hands of man cannot tear it down or change it in any way. Only the hands of God can. So if you want to make any permanent physical change to the exterior of your building, you would apply to what we call the Board of Architectural Review. We call them the bar. They're like our HOA, and they decide everything you can and cannot do with the exterior of your building. So the bar, or the Catholics go to the bar, and they say, hey, we got the money, can we add our steeple? What do y'all think the bar said? Nope, sorry, legally cannot touch it. It's older than 75. So we have a loophole in this town. Catholics look for blueprints. We found blueprints for the original cathedral that included a steeple. We brought those blueprints back to the bar, and they said, actually, we're not done building it yet. And it's still under construction. And through that loophole, they got permission to add the steeple onto the cathedral. So, any guesses as to what year they finally add the steeple up onto that cathedral? 2010. 15 years ago, they finally finished construction on that cathedral. That's kind of crazy. I think that's a very extreme change. Painting your shutters is not going to take nearly as long. Adding window boxes is not going to take nearly as long. But adding an extension for changing the color of the exterior of your building, that's not going to take a long time. Alright, transitioning to the Civil War for a little bit. man named George Bernard. So George Bernard was a Civil War photographer. A lot of the photographs in that documentary actually come from George Bernard. So I'll talk about one of his photographs in particular here in a moment. Just let some cars go past me for a second. But something that has always blown my mind about the Civil War. Did y'all know we had submarines during the Civil War? Blows my mind. First submarine you've ever seen an enemy boat in battle is the H.L. Hunley. So how the Hunley works is you have like these guys in your submarine, and you paddle up to your target, you would stab your target with a torpedo on the very side of your submarine, you would light the torpedo, you then go backwards really fast, and hope you do not get blown up in the process. So the Hunley works. It did sink a boat. However, the Hunley itself also sunk 3 times. So it sinks, they find it, they pull it up out of the water, and put 8 more guys in, rinse, and repeat. The last time the Hunley went missing, it went missing for over 100 years. Right? You're not sinking, you're out of air. You're not sinking because you run out of air. When they use the Little David once though, on the nose. So it's broken, the South, they beach it. The Confederacy has every intention, they're gonna come back, they're gonna fix up the Little David, put it back into use. But the South's got a lot going on. So they kind of forget about it. It stays missing, so they forget about it, it goes missing, it stays missing for a long, long time. Until one day, someone is going through photographs of George Bernard's, that White House back there, and they find a photograph of this White House right here. It's the Chisholm Mansion. So Chisholm Mansion actually just sold for just shy of $10 million. So it's super exciting. But this house in the photograph was on waterfront property. And on the beach in front of this house was the Little David. So we're going to be making this left-hand turn here. Where the Little David was last season. On the waterfront property. And also I have a couple of questions. So one, what happened to the water? Where'd the water go? 2, what happened to the Little David? How did you lose the submarine? So what's really cool is you can actually Google Little David Charleston. You will see the exact same photograph, that same town of the Little David from that house a long time. We'll start with the water part. So that's the quick start. Charleston used to look like a glove, now looks like a mitt. So it's actually considered to be the city's first public works project. The city took a bunch of enslaved people, brought them all around town, had them pick up all the horse poop, all the junk, all the garbage from the street, and at low tide, they brought that junk, that garbage out to the shoreline, and they filled from the glove to the mitt. So we are on landfill right now. Everything we're on right now is the animals, horse poop, garbage, sewage, basically anything that holds some shape of land is what we are built on right now. So that does not explain what happened to the Little David, right? Head back for a second. You want to see maps of how Charleston grew from the gloves and in? Down by Waterfront Park by the Pencil Fountain, there are 4 concrete blocks that show you century by century by century how we went from the gloves.
What's your stuff?
Also, look at this beautiful little bush of roses right here. That's all called a Peggy Martin rose. Oh, I love that. If I'm not know for 100% certainty, but like realistically, what else would be the same shape of the Little David, where the Little David was last seen, if not the Little David? So it's pretty reasonable to assume that to this day, there is still a Civil War submarine buried underneath the street. So that's an example of our landfill, Charleston, because it's the first street that goes river to river across the entire peninsula. So that is a wind tunnel, and that wind is how you stay cold. You need to catch that wind from off the water. So because the street acts as a wind tunnel, it's very easy then to harness that wind going through here. So that's why the houses look kind of like this. The floor plans, the porches, we're fancy, we call them piazzas. They all face south or west to catch the breeze coming off the water. So on a hot day, you're going to open up the windows that face onto that piazza. That's going to catch your sea breeze. When you breeze, that's going to cool your house down. So some sites are showing that catching that sea breeze, cooling your house down, can actually cool your house down makes a big difference. But sometimes there's no breeze, right? What do you do then? That's where that door comes into play. The door's called a privacy door. If that privacy door was open, that's your sign to your neighbors, come on over, let's hang out, let's party, let's have some fun. If that privacy door was closed though, that's your sign to your neighbors, please come by again later, because it's too dang hot in my house right now. So my family and I are now cooling off on our piazza in our underwear, and you can no longer see us. So you are taught from a very early on age to mind your north side manners. If that privacy door is closed, you're taught you look away. That way you're not being a creep and peeping on your neighbors in their undies, because no one likes to peep at Tom. Yeah, I don't like when you peep. It's me? What did I do? You being so good right now. Alrighty. So, yeah.
Some of those other houses.
Me. Tom is a 5-year-old Belgian draft horse. He weighs around 2,000 pounds. He eats around 40,000 calories a day. He can drink upwards of 30 to 35 gallons of water a day as well. Tommy's a big guy. He's also insanely strong. Look at all of our big boys from the Amish. In Amish country, Tommy was their plow and their tractor, self-made dead drag. With no wheels, Tommy can pull upwards of 4 times his own body weight, so right around 8,000 pounds. Pretty easy this big boy actually. These guys are just incredible creatures, incredible athletes. We're doing right now fractions of what he can actually do. When this carriage is empty, I can pull it with one hand. When there are people on board, I can still move this carriage. Not much more than Tommy did. So, not hard for me, definitely not hard gig for Tommy boy up front. I'm not up there, comfortable with it. Come on. Like I said, that's when you're here on your left hand side. So still kind of Tommy doesn't want us to see. Not because the horse is in front of us. The back 3 rows, y'all probably noticed I got a strap on the side of the carriage. Once Tommy's hooked up, I will step out the carriage and undo that strap. Once I undo that strap, then y'all will be outside the carriage as well. Then there's some light footsteps and you can follow me out of the barn safe and sound. I'm not like I said, thank you for hanging out. Hope y'all have fun. Hope y'all learned something. Thanks for dealing with the hot spot. Now we're going to get hooked up here in just a little second. So wait here. So please do not accept the carriage. It's not hooked up yet. I'll tell y'all when it is safe to go. I always gotta wait for safety to go, 10 to get hooked up, and then I got unstuck y'all, and then y'all are good to go in a minute. So please hold. Any other questions that y'all have? Like I said, give Tommy some love. Tommy's cute. Tommy's great. He's a little boy. Spot his nose. He will try to share his water with you. So that's what I'm saying. Mind that gap, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Hope y'all had fun. Have a great day. That farm, run around being a horse, doing horse stuff. So, here's all the pieces. Think there's absolutely incredible.
Is there training that you guys do?
So the biggest training that he comes to us knowing how to pull something because he's an old plow horse. The biggest thing he has to get used to that he's still getting used to is the idea that trucks aren't going to kill him.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. He still thinks trucks are scary, which like makes sense. He went from being the biggest thing in the area to now like a delivery truck will zoom by him, and he's like, "It's gonna eat me," and he has to be around that it's not actually gonna eat him. So that's like the biggest thing he's getting used to right now.
How old is he?
He's 6, between 5 and 6.
Yeah,
Does he know his route? Like,
No.
does he know what you're doing?
No, he knew that one. He was like, where am I? What's going on? This is not normal. But that's good for him too. Good for me. Snaps me out of like my just like play 2A autopilot route.
Yeah.
Snaps him out of that too because now he's like, what are we doing? So, like I said, you will never get another tour like that ever again. Ever. It was a one of a kind. One of a kind.
Been on a lot of these. So
I know. So you'll never do that one ever again. You'll do elements of that one again, but never that one ever again. Alright, in a moment, we will be parking. But when we park, dock will be on your right hand side. Please, I step to the right hand side. There will be a slight gap between us and the dock, so mind the gap. And on the offhand chance Tommy wiggles at all, please hold on to something. That way, if he does move, it will not throw you off guard or off balance, and you can actually off the carriage safe and sound. Once you're off the carriage, give Tommy some love.
I was looking for him.
Rub him on his forehead, you pet him on his neck, his nose. He does kind of like to nibble on things, so don't pet his nose. He's not nibbled off anyone's fingers or anything yet. Keyword yet. So well, that he also does like the steal things. He's a little bit of a klepto. He will try to steal hats. He will try to steal jackets. So this guy, he is brand spanking new. So this is Ozzy.
Is that why he's on an empty? He's going on
Yeah,
like a
he's going on a little
practice
training.
run?
Yeah.
Does he still have to get a bingo card?
Yeah. No, for the training they go wherever they think might be scary for him.
Ah.
He's brand spanking new. He's an example of the French perch run. So he's beautiful. He's the kind of horse that is a handsome horse.
Oh, yeah.
Any questions? We're just kind of hanging out.
How long have you been doing this?
About 2.5 years.
You're excellent.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you.
Once Cooper and Christina are out of the way, then we'll be moving on into that spot. It's very nice.
Very happy.
Yeah.
I think I got one behind me.
So, like I said, that's when you're on your left hand side. You're supposed to be able to pass Tommy goes in one, I believe. If not, you have the horse in front of us. And that's the road. Y'all probably noticed y'all got a strap on the side of the carriage. Once Tommy's hooked up, I will step off the carriage and undo that strap. Once I undo that strap, then y'all will be able to exit out the carriage as well. Then there's some white footsteps that you can follow to get out of the barn safe and sound. And now, like I said, thank you for hanging out. Hope y'all had fun. Hope y'all learned something. Thanks for dealing with the hot pod. So now we're going to get hooked up here in just a little second. Gotta wait here. So please do not exit the carriage. It's not hooked up yet. I'll tell y'all when it is safe to go. We gotta wait for the gate to close, him to get hooked up, and then I got my strap, y'all, and then y'all are good to go. It can take me a minute, so stay cool. Any other questions that y'all have? Oh boy, Tommy. Like I said, give Tommy some love. Tommy's cute. Tommy's pretty good boy. Just watch his nose. He will probably try to share his water with you too, though. So. Mind that gap, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Hope y'all had fun. Have a great day, y'all.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute.
He's only 6 and he responds tired.
They usually keep them for
Yeah, okay, all right. You want to pet him?
Really?
Huh?
Not really.
Okay.
On that, you gotta buy it. I'll have my course with him.
Okay.
Certainly. So, that was cool. Boy, Tommy.
No, you can't go over there.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. Hey, puppy, such a good boy. Look at you.
You did good.
I'm sorry. It's okay. Thank you for telling me.
It's super hard to avoid. Bye, Rudy. Have the best day ever, Baba. Hi, Ruby. You guys have fun?
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
dragging down the open roads of our dreams, 1 mile at a time, or so it seems. Where we'll stop I'll never know, as long as my old pal Rudy's in tow. The sun on my face, wind in my hair, every new horizon, a journey to share. Always home when I got wagging tails and trails to roam through mountains and dales. Every highway a promise, every dirt track a guide, with a loyal heart beating right by my side. Yeah, always home with my best friend near, chasing away every doubt and every fear. We've seen the sunrise paint the desert sky, and watched the big moon hang up high. Shared silent moments by the river bend, a bond like ours, it will never end. No need for maps, no need for a plan, just two free spirits, a dog